Welcome back to Ask Reddit Daily. Every week, we dive into the wildest, funniest, and most unbelievable stories from Reddit. Today, we're counting down the top 5 AITAH stories of the week, from petty revenge to full-blown family chaos. And trust me, you won't believe what happens in number 3. Let us know if you agree with our ranking down below. Coming in at number 5, Ask Reddit Daily number 7. Refusing to sell the house my wife wants me to sell? When my ex and I divorced, I moved out and she lived in our house until she found her own place. I bought the house 3 years before we got married, and her name was added to the deed when we were married. At the time of our divorce, I was 9 years into the 15-year mortgage. When she found her own place, we decided to keep the house in both of our names and rent it out because neither of us wanted to sell it. For the past 6 years, we have rented out the house and basically broke even. She manages the property more than I do, so she kept the meager profits. Now that the house is paid off, we are actually going to start turning actual profit. We agreed to a 60-40th split of the profits, with her keeping 60 because she is the one that deals with the tenants. My wife, who I married last year, really wants me to sell this house. At first, she wasn't that insistent, but lately she has become so. She said there's no reason for me to co-own a house with my ex-wife. She also says that now that it is paid off, we could do a cash sale and make a lot of money. Neither my ex nor I want to sell, and it's our house, so I don't really see the point of these conversations. Even if I agreed with her, my ex wouldn't agree and it would be an unnecessary fight. I'd have to get a lawyer. I'm exhausted just thinking about it. Last night my wife asked me if I intended to co-own this house with my ex forever. I told her, truthfully, that we had many times discussed eventually giving it to our son once he reaches the appropriate life stage. She was upset by this answer. She asked if I intended to give a house to my step-kids or any future kids we might have. I told her this is an apples and oranges situation. The house isn't fully mine. No penny has ever gone from our shared household into that house. It's more my ex's than mine at this point, really, not legally. Legally it's 50-50, but she spends more time on it. Also, this isn't a nice house, not like the one my wife and I bought after our wedding. The house I co-own with my ex is a small 2-bedroom house. It's not like he's going to get a mansion. All the same, she is very upset. She said she feels like the house is a source of strife in our relationship and she wants it gone. I told her I love her, but the answer is no. She's been cold to me all morning as a result. At number 4. Welcome back to Ask Reddit Daily. This is episode 4. Am I the poop shoot for saying this to my boyfriend? Last night my boyfriend and I were getting dinner ready and were laughing and having a good time. He was getting our plates ready and asked me how big of a piece of scalloped potatoes, and I said, not too big but not too small, just right. And then I said, just like you, in a joking-like tone. It wasn't meant in an insulting way at all, but my boyfriend's mood totally shifted, and as we sat down to eat I asked him what was wrong and he said that my comment was rude and he was pissed off about it. I apologized and told him I didn't mean it as an insult. If anything, I was trying to say that he's just right, but also said I could see now why he may have taken it as an insult and that I really was sorry and it was never my intention to hurt his feelings, and then went to give him a hug and he pulled away from me. The rest of the night he sat on the couch basically glaring at me and then went to bed without even saying goodnight. I made him a "I'm sorry" card and put for him where he'd see it when he got up for work, and he did, cause it's been moved, but won't even answer my texts now this morning. Am I the asshole for thinking that he's refusing to see it as an honest mistake? Edit: I thought I was saying he's the perfect size by saying this. I'm 30 and he's 35. Remember to like and subscribe for more daily Reddit videos. Number 3. Welcome back to Ask Reddit Daily. This is episode 6. Am I the poop shoot for not letting a woman I was dating know she had a time limit? So I met this woman online. We were dating for a while and then I asked her to be official. She told me she needed some time to think, and I told okay. What I didn't tell her though, was the fact I wasn't gonna wait for her for too long. We still went out once after she asked for more time, but like a week after our conversation, I simply let her know we aren't gonna work out. She asked why, and I was honest. She simply took too long to decide if she wanted something more. She called me an asshole and told me it was an asshole move to do this and that she just needed time, and that giving her a time limit on this was bullshit. I didn't really respond, but I am curious if I was unreasonable. At number 2. Ask Reddit Daily, episode 9. Destroying my relationship with my daughter and ending my marriage? I, 41M, have been with my wife, 41F, for 24 years. We have 3 kids. two of which are adults 21F and 18M. My marriage has been a bit rocky for a few years. I have been racked with anxiety, stress, and fear which I have let affect me in our marriage. A few weeks ago my daughter came to me and told me that through work with her therapist she has determined that trauma she experienced during her childhood caused by me is responsible for her failed relationships and bad behavior. I shut it down. I told her all her good qualities should be her focus. This worsened our relationship as she said I wasn't listening and continued to double down on me taking accountability. I told her, I certainly made mistakes and a lot of them, but I did my best. The rift significantly worsened when she told me that wasn't good enough and that I didn't do my best. Along with other comments that I took as disrespect and hurtful, such as, you only have an emotional connection if it benefits you. I then began to seek guidance. I spoke about the situation with multiple family members and friends as well as my therapist. 9 out of 10, including my mother and brother, told me she was being disrespectful and that she needs to experience life and gain perspective. I tried multiple olive branches to smooth it over to no avail. Finally, after trying and her refusing to speak to me, I told her, my name is on the deed, and implied that if she won't talk to me then she can get out. This had devastating consequences. My wife immediately told me if I kicked her out she would divorce me. Several horrible arguments erupted, culminating in my daughter calling the cops on me, trying to have me removed from my home. It didn't work because I was not physical or violent. I recorded the whole fight, and while I am not innocent, my wife and daughter said some things that really hurt me. I thought, this is it, there is no coming back. My anger towards my daughter for the entire situation came to a head from her calling the cops, and I told her, don't talk to me like I'm your father, you are no daughter of mine. I regretted it instantly. All in one moment I saw all of the hurt and pain this all caused her. I can't stop seeing her crying because of me. I feel like my support system led me down the wrong path. Now my daughter wants nothing to do with me. My wife says divorce is non-negotiable and I feel lost, confused, broken, and angry. My mother-in-law talked to me and helped me see the forest through the trees, but it's done and I fucked everything up. Diving deeper, that anxiety, stress, and fear have made me insufferable and difficult that my wife has had enough. I want to save my family. I love my wife and daughter. I'm an idiot, however my mom and brother say I did and am doing the right thing. It sure doesn't feel like it. And now, the best of the week. Ask Reddit Daily, Episode 8, telling my little brother-in-law that I still sleep with his sister? I 39M got married to my wife 39F 17 years ago after being together since we were 16, so we've been together for 23 years and I still love her like we're still 16. We have 3 kids together and we're still very much active in bed. About 3 years after we got married, my in-laws out of nowhere told us that they gave birth to a new son. We had absolutely no idea that my Mill was pregnant because at the time we lived in a different state for a job my wife had. Since then we've moved back and bought a house in my wife's hometown about 5 minutes away from her parents. I've always liked them and their new son was like a test run for us as parents, and we basically did all the hard parenting stuff. He wasn't planned. My father-in-law's condom broke, but we've always called him a happy surprise. Eventually we stepped back as we got our own children a few years later, since after seeing him we really wanted a baby of our own. Last Friday I had a barbecue just because, and I invited my father-in-law and the kid who's 13 now because my Mill sadly passed away a few years back. Everyone was inside eating and the kid came to talk to me while I was cooking and he started talking about woohoo. He's going through puberty and is honestly a bit socially awkward, but I talked to him and kinda felt proud that he was becoming a man. He started asking about marriage and if I sleep with girls nowadays. I said that I'm happily married and that I love his sister and that I never cheat on her. He started laughing at me, saying that I'm a loser and that I don't get ladies. This might be petty, but I said I still woohoo his sister pretty often and that she really loves it, and gave him a smirk. He was pretty silent for the rest of the night and hasn't spoken to me since. Was I an ass? What was your favorite? Comment down below. Also, if you liked the video, make sure you like and subscribe for more daily content, as it helps out the channel a ton. Thanks for watching.